friends, I'm the vegan. I make a raspberry curd cake today, or pie. Yeah, the shape is a little bit different usually, but the idea is simple. I have a springform to begin, lined with parchment paper. It is not such a big springform, 8 inches or so, 7 inches maybe, or 80 centimeters. And I have a food processor to the crust. And to have this, the crust for this kind of springform, always here with a S blade. This is the favorite blade for making the dough, crust. And I have 1.5 cups or 2 cups of almonds. Depends on how thick you want to have your crust. And I begin to process the crust, the almonds, alone. The dates come later. It saves a little bit of time. This is my course meal, and it saves time to put the almonds in first. Here, this is the coarseness I'm talking about, you see. Because when I put the dates in at the same time, it takes a lot longer to get the same coarseness, fineness. You have here a dozen dates, about 10 to 12 dates or so. This is my preferred ratio, 1.5 or 2 cups of almonds, 10 or 15 in between dates. That's a compromise, yeah. It is easy to get a sticky dough with that many dates. If I take less dates, 3 or 4 or so, it's also possible to make a sticky dough, but it takes longer to process. So with 10 dates or 12 dates, it is quicker because the dates are soft too. And I have a little bit of lemon zest. Yeah. I have 1 lemon, and I use that lemon for the curd. I show you in a moment. Before I put the lemon zest into the dough, to have a little bit of a zingy flavor. And now again, process it to a sticky dough. The sticky dough is done, and if you do it the first time or don't have experience, this is the part where I'll get a little bit tricky and confusing. Here, this is what it has to be like. I press it together, and there it sticks together. That's a sticky dough. So you see it already when you watch it from above. Turning, you see when the almonds and the dates begin to transform, and they get a little bit more darker and a little bit more like spiralizing. They look different, and you see that. And then it begins to get sticky. If it processes too long, then you have it too firm. The dough is too firm. The crust should be also a little bit fluffy. It's not like a baked cake, but it is a little bit fluffier if you don't over-process it. That's a little bit tricky. You need a little bit of experience. When I my first raw food cakes with the machine here, without the machine that is very difficult. But the machine is a very nice tool to get it done. So when I made the first ones, I was always worried. I thought, what is the dough ready? I don't know. I forgot that now. But recently a friend asked me about this, and I remembered. Yeah. I had this problem. If you do it the first time or with less experience, you might be wondering how to determine when the dough is ready. So now I spread it evenly first, yeah, just to have a firm, even crust. Yeah. And once everything is where it should, I begin to press a little bit firmer, a little harder. And then at the end, I take my fist and begin to press it down firmly. This now takes a little bit. You don't need to watch me all the time. I come back in a moment when it's done, and I show you the result. So my crust is done. I show you what it looks like. This is a nice crust that I like. It's firm enough to cut a piece out of it when the cake is done. So now I make the filling. Filling has 2 parts. It's the curd and the raspberries. First the curd. And this is a special recipe of mine. And it's easy. Yeah? The idea is to combine basically bananas and avocados for a nice texture, certain creaminess, and cashew nuts, yeah, to make it this into this kind of pudding texture. And then I add a little bit of coconut oil to make it a curd. You will see, it's easy. But what I have to do first is I put some bananas in. These are 3 or 4 or 5 bananas, or 2.5 cups or so. Put them in. Maybe it's too much. Maybe it will be too. Maybe we will too. I take a little bit out. Oh no, I put it in. Oh come on. It's not so important. And I have a similar amount of cashew nuts. You see, a little bit more cashew nuts because the dates, the bananas are a little bit lighter and have more space. So about the same amount. And here the avocados, a nice avocado here, a small avocado, and a lemon. Lemon is made, use here once for the flavor of the curd, a little bit sour. It's a fake curd, of course, not fermented. And the avocado, and the lemon is also to keep the color of the curd light. If you blend it on banana without a lemon, it can happen that it turns into something dark. And it's not so nice to visualize. But also the flavor with banana and lemon is very delicious. And for the curd, as I said, also nice to have this little bit sour flavor. So blender dance to get the first part of the curd. The sound of the blender goes up at the end. That means the blades don't grip anymore. Not so good. It goes up, whoop, yeah. So I have to change something. But you see also here, some of the cashews are on top here. And I see another thing I have to show you. This blender is not even half full. And you shouldn't put it too much in it with this firm kind of fillings. Shouldn't put too much in the blender if you have one. Even a power blender would be very hard for a power blender. If you fill it up until here, it's likely that the blender wouldn't get it done, even if it's one of the strongest on the market. Yeah. They all have these problems. Yeah. But I have to stop anyway because I want to show you now how I make my coconut oil. I liquefy it, a water bath. Here, just a cup of water, warm water or hot water. And here's the coconut oil on top on a water bath that liquefies. And I put that in last because I'm sure then that the coconut oil remains in the filling and not in the blender walls. So when I help the blender, help the dough, the filling turn over a little bit and the cashew nuts come down. And I need the coconut oil to make first the curd-like texture, and second to make the filling firm. So raw live bakery is a lot about the filling, not only the crust, but the texture of the filling is important. And first, the filling has to be firm to cut a piece out of the cake that it doesn't doesn't run away, and then. What kind of filling can be a pudding filling, a curd filling, it can be a cheesy filling. There's so many different ways to make the filling, and that's the tricky thing. And this is about the banana, avocado, and cashews, and the coconut oil to make it firm. Now the blender dance. And that is a good sign that it goes up because you know that the filling is not too soft. if the filling is too runny, this wouldn't happen. It only happens when the filling is runny, too firm, and you want a firm filling because you want the filling from the cake to firm up in the refrigerator. Now, if it's too runny, it might be a problem to get it really firm in the fridge. So one more time, the last time out. I think that's okay. It looks nice. I blended the cashew before here, as you see, and this is what it should look like here. You see this this kind of blossom-like texture, form on the top of the blender filling, and that is a sign that it's okay. So here I have my raspberries. You can take as many as you want. This is about a pound, maybe a pound of raspberries, frozen raspberries, and I put the filling just on top of the raspberries to combine it. Yeah, it is very easy. Put the filling over the raspberries. Chop, chop, chop. I have to get out everything from the blender, and for this I have this nice tool. It's a soft scraper. It's a very nice one. To get out everything, it's easy with this one. So it takes some time to get everything out because the filling is pretty creamy, pretty firm, so it sticks a little bit to the blender. But that is very simple. In the end, it is easy. So this is most of it now. I guess that's okay. Now I just combine everything, I toss it everything, just very easy. You can take as many raspberries as you want, as I said. If you want to have some more raspberries, feel free. I think this is enough for my cake. It's for friends tomorrow. I'm invited to our dinner, and neighbors for me, and we decided that I made the dessert and they make a soup. So vegan, of course. I educate my friends here, my neighbors, to veganism. Otherwise, I wouldn't join the meal. I said that clearly. It changed over time, but now veganism is more popular here, and it's hard to say no. I don't want to have a vegan meal. It's hard for people to do that, harder than a couple of years ago. So here, this is the filling with the curd and the raspberries, and I guess they will nicely firm up in the refrigerator. It's a very nice cake, very easy to make, and it's very delicious. You have to try a curd with these berries. It's very delicious. I guess they will like it as a dessert. And in wintertime, it's also nice to have a curd. It's warming because there's nuts in there, coconut oil in there, and so that is a pretty nice idea, I guess. It was a spontaneous idea. Let's see if it works. But why shouldn't it? Yeah. All I need now is that it firms up in the refrigerator. I just even it out here, the top. And we'll put a little foil on top so that no puddles will come on top of the cake. When you put it in the refrigerator without a foil, there will be puddles in the next day because the condensating water collects on top and that's not so nice. This is my cake here, and in a second, your time, I come back and show you how to cut a piece out of it. See you in a moment. The cake is done. Yeah, now here I have the foil. You can see it is always a little bit tricky to put the foil on the cake because I have to begin in the middle, yeah, and then push the air out of the foil gently over the pie. Now I can take it off, yeah, like this. See? And I will keep the foil, of course, because when I put the cake back into the fridge, I will keep the foil on top, and that is better than the plate. The plate takes more space, and with a foil it is easier. Yeah. Could take a plate too, but the plate is when I let it sit in the fridge to firm up, then a plate wouldn't be okay, because then there is space between the cake and the plate, air, and so the water, the condensing water from the cake, will fall onto the cake and build the puddles, and then they have the different puddles on top, and that's not so nice. That's why the foil is my preferred solution. Now I see if I can open the cake, the springform easily, because sometimes I have to use the knife to drive around the cake, because I have to, because when the filling is soft, is in this case, it can happen that the filling sticks to the form and the cake surface breaks open, it tears apart a little bit. To avoid this, I simply take the knife, a thin knife, and drive around the cake from bottom to top, and then it is but careful, of course, not cutting into the cake, and then I have a clean sides of the cake. So this is okay, I guess. It's okay. The soft filling, and this kind of filling usually takes a little bit longer to firm up. So I will eat it tonight with my friends, part of it at least, and it's firm enough to cut pieces out of the cake. So one night is okay, but on the next day, you see, this is the cake. I show you right out of the form. You see, it's nice. It's firm enough, I can already see, with the raspberries inside. Not too many raspberries this time. Sometimes I make a fruit pie with less filling and more fruit, fresh fruit. But this time it's just a filling with some raspberries and a nice curd, and that is okay. I mean, it's still a curd cake, curd pie, and just ease the sides a little bit, make it a little bit nicer. And now I cut my piece out. Now is the moment, and I can see if the cake is actually firm enough. Sometimes it is too soft, it runs away. That's always the thing. But I think it is a good thing here. It's a good feeling. So I cut in the middle, down to the bottom, through the crust. I feel that now is necessary, otherwise it doesn't work. So now I carefully cut in small cuts. Yeah, it's soft, but it's nice. When the filling is soft, it's also nice. It's too firm, then yeah, the same with the crust. If the crust is too firm, it's nicer to have it fluffy a little bit. Yeah, it depends. So again here, second cut for the first piece. Cut until to the bottom. And now, step by step, small steps. Yeah, you need a little bit. I need a little bit here to be a little bit awareness here. Now I see I can take out the piece. Yeah, that's it. Beautiful. It works. Wonderful. This is a piece, and tomorrow it will be firmer. That's for sure. Yeah. Nah, what do you say? Isn't that nice? Beautiful color, right? Yeah, that's my raspberry pie. Raspberry curd pie. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If so, give me a thumbs up and subscribe MD Vegan on YouTube. Then you have another recipe every single day. And you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. What's special about this pie is the curd, the texture of the filling, with bananas, cashews, and avocado mainly, and a little bit of coconut oil to give it this special curd-like texture. A little bit of lemon for the flavor. Yeah, it's not a real curd, but it's very delicious. And yeah, it's a classic pie, I would say. Now I will enjoy it with my friends tonight, and tomorrow it will be even firmer, I guess. It takes always 1-2 days for this kind of filling to really firm up. That's interesting to watch. So enjoy!